An attack heard around the world. And one which has left an indelible mark on the United States, its people, its foreign policy, and its financial capital, New York City. 15 of the 19 people involved in the 9/11 attacks were from Saudi Arabia. And 15 years later, some people are still asking questions over whether Saudi Arabia's government was involved, even after the release of 28 redacted pages of the 9/11 Commission report, which showed there was no smoking gun linking the Saudi government to the attack.
The US government agencies, with their tremendous responsibilities, have looked into this and have come to the conclusion that is very clear. There is no Saudi government involvement or involvement by Saudi officials in the events of 9/11. So I don't know how one can be more clear than this.
But even the most tenuous links have led to calls to allow victims' families to have their day in court against any state that may have sponsored the act. Now, new legislation will allow them to do that.
2/3 having voted in favor, the bill is passed.
The Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, or JASTA, allows U.S. citizens to pursue lawsuits against any foreign country for alleged involvement in terrorist acts on U.S. soil. U.S. President Barack Obama vetoed the bill, citing concerns that it could open the U.S. government up to lawsuits over its intelligence and military actions abroad. But both houses of Congress voted by an overwhelming majority to override his veto. The first time that's happened during the Obama presidency. Within hours of the vote, 30 senators signed a letter expressing reservations.
I think what we've seen in the United States Congress is a pretty classic case of rapid onset buyer's remorse.
Also at stake are relations with one of the U.S.'s most important allies in the region. Saudi Arabia's government has criticized the law, saying the erosion of sovereign immunity will have a negative impact on all nations. The U.S.-Saudi relationship is already under pressure, as the U.S.'s diplomatic thaw with Saudi's bitter rival Iran has changed the power dynamics of the region. A new law which would allow 9/11 victims' families to sue the kingdom is just the latest barb to emerge in what appears to be the fraying of a 70-year alliance. Randolph Nogel, The Newsmakers.
I'm joined now from Washington, D.C. by Ali Al-Ahmed. He's a Saudi scholar and expert on Saudi political affairs at the Institute for Gulf Affairs. Ali, good to talk to you once again. So, Barack Obama said this was a mistake. CIA Director Brennan said this will have grave implications. What do you think? Was it a good idea for Congress to do this?
Well, this is not the first time the U.S. citizens are able to sue other governments. So I think there is a little bit of dishonesty on the part of President Obama and Mr. Brennan, who has very strong relationships with the Saudi monarchy. We all know that a few months ago, Iran was hit by a $2 billion lawsuit, and it was successfully completed. And Libya, as we know, with the Lockerbie, was also forced to pay billions of dollars. This is nothing new, where the U.S. citizens have sued other governments for terrorism charges and other, even financial dealings. So, and the U.S. has even forced foreign governments, like the Germans and the Swiss government, to pay millions, if not billions of dollars for Nazi claims and so on. So this is not new. It hasn't affected the so-called international legal standards.
Okay, so let's put aside the potential legal blowback and that argument, and then ask if Saudi actually deserves this, because we had those 28 pages, they came out, and they were unredacted, and there really wasn't a smoking gun showing Saudi involvement in 9/11. So do the Saudis deserve being sued for 9/11 when they didn't have anything to do with it?
Well, it's very important to look into it, and I think the court system is a very good place to do that. As a senator from New York said, if Saudi Arabia, the Saudi government, the monarchy, had nothing to do with 9/11, they should not be worried. And everybody who is not committed a crime should not be worried about being taken to a court. Having said that, because of the U.S. government's successive administration, the Bush and Obama administration have left Saudi Arabia conduct its policy, terrorism continued to increase since September 11, not decrease. Let us focus on one thing. The Saudi government has never apologized or expressed regret that 15 of the 19 hijackers are Saudis. Instead, they accuse the senior government, Prince Naif, for example, said this is a Zionist conspiracy. These 15 Saudis were kidnapped and so on. So I think this is maybe a start to bringing pressure on the Saudis, and actually it will lead to decrease of terrorism, because let us be honest, the Saudi government has funded terrorist organizations before September 11 and continued to do so until today.
Okay, Ali Al-Ahmed, thanks so much for your thoughts.